Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, latest developments, all right? Latest developments of the Canelo Alvarez Clenbuterol situation, okay? You guys may remember my last video about this whole situation. I mentioned Erik Morales, I mentioned Francisco Vargas, I mentioned how they both tested positive for Clenbuterol. Morales in 2012, Vargas in 2016, they both were guilty of Clenbuterol, right? So it's ironic that the day right after I made that video, Erik Morales and Francisco Vargas are sticking up for Canelo, saying that he is the victim. He's the victim of the situation. He's the victim of circumstance. Here's what they had to say in regards to the whole situation regarding Canelo and Clenbuterol. Here's what Francisco Vargas first told ESPN Deportes. He said, I quote, It is a common problem to a certain extent in Mexico. There is no control over meat. It is uncomfortable for athletes. I think if anyone who eats meat in the country and the next day they conduct exams, they would come out positive. The bad thing is that in the sports world, we are the ones who are affected because there is no control on the part of the authorities, and that the rest of the world cares little. I had to leave Mexico after the positive test. I had more than 10 tests, and they all came out clean. And then Morales said, I quote, I was notified two or three days before the fight with Danny Garcia, but at the time, the New York Commission did not tell me anything. The agencies, in this case, the WBC and WBA, backed me, and I had no problem. The issue is that this is a public health problem, and it is true that one must be careful with the consumption of meat. The quantities they found are less than 1 nanogram per milliliter. They are tiny amounts that neither help nor decompose you. But now, people do not want to believe you. They come down here, buy meat, and get it tested. That's why many national and international leagues prevent their athletes from consuming it. And we as Mexicans must also avoid it, mainly the athletes, end quote. So the two culprits, both guilty in the past for this, are trying to paint Canelo out as a victim, right? But, come on. Canelo Alvarez has enough damn money to go buy his own damn farm. He can go buy his own cows if he wanted. He can go buy like 50 million cows if he wanted to. The fact of the matter is, he is responsible for what he puts into his body. And him being a fellow Mexican fighter, knowing the likes of Vargas, knowing the likes of Morales, from what they've done in the past, he should know and be very careful and cautious to not eat any meat in Mexico because he knows that he will test positive for the same thing. But he didn't do that. And I think Canelo is a grown man. I think, he's smart enough to put his big boy pants on. So I think he's smart enough to know not to eat the meat there. And I think he did it on purpose. I think, when you look at Canelo, and you guys can go back to my videos before the Canelo fight, I would always talk about how Canelo would put on this muscle mass right as it's fight week. He just puts on all this muscle mass out of nowhere. Like you don't know you don't know where the hell it comes from, but he puts all this muscle mass out of nowhere. Maybe the Clenbuterol, which is used for a lot for racehorses and bodybuilders, maybe he's using that along with HGH and other substances to get bigger. Maybe that's a thought. I can't confirm whether that's true or not, but I'm just saying. I think the issue is bigger than just meat and Clenbuterol. I think Canelo Alvarez is used to putting on a lot of muscle mass. He likes to do that. He likes to put a lot of muscle mass on a couple weeks before the fight out of nowhere. And none of us know where the hell it comes from, but it just randomly happens. And the only explanation it could be the fact that he's using Clenbuterol as well as potentially other substances that are banned that we don't know about. Whether they be HGH or who knows? Just anything else that can help him get a competitive edge or whomever it is. And you know what? Canelo Alvarez, I have zero doubts that this is intentional because Canelo Alvarez is a guy that's catered to. He's been pandered to by the WBC and all the other power brokers and sanctioning bodies in boxing. So why would he not cheat? If he knows all he's going to get is a slap on the wrist, why wouldn't he cheat and try to get a competitive edge against Golovkin, a guy that even at his advanced age of 35, 36 years old was putting a lot of intelligent pressure on him, and he was unable to consistently do good work in their fight with him, and he fought very defensive and he fought very cautious. And while he was able to render Golovkin ineffective in many instances, it was still Golovkin who was making the fight. It was still Golovkin who was pressing the action. It was still Golovkin who just was overall the better fighter on the night. And Canelo knows that, which is why he's out here eating what he knows is contaminated meat, and probably stacking some HGH on top of it. I saw Precise. I didn't see the video, but I saw probably Precise's title, and that's what I thought Precise presenter's title of the video. And I think that could be possible. The fact that Canelo Alvarez is potentially using other substances along with Clenbuterol, which helps you. It helps your stamina. It helps you build muscle mass. So that's what it is, man. Erik Morales, Francisco Vargas, ex offenders of Clenbuterol and eating the Mexican meat, trying to paint Canelo as a victim, but you're not gonna sit here and tell me that a guy with Canelo type of money can't get some organic meat, kosher meat, any type of meat he wants. He can get his own cows, and they can freaking chop the cows up right in front of him, and it'll be all right, and it'll be okay. So there's no way in hell that Erik Morales, Francisco Vargas, or any other Canelo fan in the world is going to convince me that Canelo Alvarez didn't know what he was doing, and that Canelo Alvarez couldn't have gotten cleaner, more effective meat that wouldn't have made him come out positive. So you gotta take every precaution when you're a fighter. You gotta take every precaution when you're a fighter. If you take a supplement or anything like that, you need to check what the ingredients are so you're not getting in trouble. And I think these fighters are just lackadaisical about that, and this is what happened. So, Canelo Alvarez, you're not fooling nobody. Put your big point, keep your big point pants on, because I know you know how to put them on. And Erik Morales and Francisco Vargas, well, we ain't buying what you're selling. Like, we know it's BS, and we know that Canelo Alvarez is just trying to cheat because he couldn't handle the pressure of Golovkin making the fight and pressing that action on him. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Erik Morales and Francisco Vargas saying Canelo is a victim of Clenbuterol and the Mexican meat contamination. Let me know what you guys think about this comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang It. So until next time, take care, guys.